What's going on, guys? My name's Chris. You're watching Raising the Bar, and today we're going to be talking about the power of scheduling and time management. This is an extremely important topic. I want everybody out there to listen up because it can change your life. Elon Musk and Bill Gates have a few things in common, one of which is their scheduling habits. Did you know that Bill Gates schedules himself in 5-minute intervals so his entire day is mapped out before he even wakes up? Elon Musk has a similar habit when it comes to his time management. Why is that? Why are these two billionaires managing their time down to 5-minute intervals? I'll tell you why. The reason that they're doing this is very simple. Because by optimizing the amount of time that you have in a day, you can increase your productivity beyond the amount of hours worked by a traditional person. Let me explain. Your average person that goes to work, let's say they're there for a total of 8 hours. If we were to monitor that person in time, the amount of actual productive work they did during that 8-hour period, you would find that probably maybe 4 or 5 of those hours are actually productive and the rest is just fluff. Now, if we were to have our schedules booked out in 5-minute intervals and you had to stick with it, then think about the level of productivity that you could achieve in that day compared to that person that was only working 4 or 5 hours. That time management skill is something that you'll see a lot of successful people demonstrate, and because they know if you can dominate time, you can dominate productivity, get more work done in a shorter period of time, and ultimately grow faster. That's the key here. Growing faster, scaling. How do we go about scaling? Dominating the time, making sure that we're utilizing every time that we have in the given day for the right task. And the best way to do that is to schedule yourself. I'm not recommending you go out and schedule yourself in 5-minute intervals, by the way. What I am recommending you do is establish a routine, a fixed schedule for yourself on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis that you can stick with to ensure you're being as productive as possible and accomplishing as much as you can in that given time period. In the role that I currently work for a major Fortune 500 company, they are sticklers for our schedules. They want our schedules mapped out every single hour. Initially, when I came into the company, I thought this was ridiculous. What difference does it make? The reason they do that is because they want that additional level of accountability to your time management. Now, granted, I'm not saying that the managers and the higher-ups are actually looking at this, but they're doing it for us because they want us to understand that by having a dedicated time for a particular task and having it done in this sequential order based on prioritization of that task is going to ensure that we are as productive and result producing as possible. In order to produce those results, we need to ensure that we're really utilizing the time in the day proficiently, because otherwise, if we're not, then we're setting ourselves backwards. Think about the person that works 80, 90 hours a week, right? If that's not you, well, that person's working 80, 90 hours a week. They can do it. You're only working 40. What are you doing with the rest of the time? Think about what you could do with that extra time. You could start a business. You could get yourself in shape. You could do anything. It's entirely up to you what you want to do depending on what your goals are. But I want you to think about this thought process. Because if you set a time and a date to do a particular task and stick with it, the amount that you'll be able to accomplish compared to the other person is night and day. Over time, this is going to compound on itself. You eventually will broaden that gap so much that that person that took them 5 years to do something, you could do it in 2.5, maybe 3 years. Cutting down that time. And why is this so important? Very simple. Time is the most precious commodity that we have. That hourglass is ticking for all of us, and the time will run out. So to ensure that we're utilizing every minute, every hour, every day to its full potential, we have to make sure that we have a game plan in place. Because otherwise, if we don't, then guess what? We're not going to get to where we want to be in the time frame that's ideal or when it could be accomplished. And now granted, you have to have some determination. You certainly need to be disciplined in order to adhere to a strict schedule that you set for yourself. But if you know that you want to achieve something and you study these very successful people and they happen to have this in common, you cannot ignore the fact that there's a similarity there for a reason. There's a reason for it, and it's because it works. If you can take your day, segment it, stick with it, I promise you, your level of productivity, the results, and the goal attainment that you'll receive as a result of those changes will be be exponentially greater than if you took the latter approach and chose not to schedule yourself out and budget your time accordingly. It's very important, guys. I hope you like this video. If it resonates with you, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe down below. As always, visit my website, rtbtransformations.com. Thank you so much, guys. I'm out of here.